Computer.
So, because are you cut a bit for me? Cutting up.
I'm recording. Hi, everybody. This is Benedetta. I'm just having a bit of a chat with my friend Leona, and we're recording here. So you're going to be receiving this later. We're supposed to be doing a live stream, but our live stream went bonkers. So anyway, I just wanted to. I was talking before when I started the live stream that we wanted to just talk to just ordinary people who are doing some pretty cool things. And Leona's one of those. I've known her maybe a year now. We didn't know each other before, but I just wanted to have a chat with her and ask her a few questions about how she has gotten into this journey. And we talk about it. We talk about our juicy business. We talk about the juicy life. And she's there with Sione. Sione? We call him Bubby though.
He knows his name's Bubby. What's your name? What's your name?
He's shy. Oh, so hey Leona, how's it going?
Hi, good.
So just for our listeners, where are you? So I'm in New Zealand, and where are you, Leona?
I'm in Tassie, in Launceston, Tassie.
Okay.
And yeah, 10:15 in the morning, and I can see out my window. It's a pretty gloomy day, rainy day. What's it like over there?
It's cold. It's cold. And I've lived in Tasmania, and we did a bit of a stint in the Gold Coast, but it's just cold here. I'm just a bit of a wuss anyway. I'm a bit of a fish when it comes to the cold. But I just wanted to ask you a few questions, and just, it's about sharing what you're doing. So can you give us a little bit of background about how you got involved in your home business and what led you to be doing what you're doing now?
Yeah, sure. I'm just going to palm off this one as well.
And we work our business around our families. So you might see people behind me, walking behind me. That's how we do it.
Sorry, 1 second, Lani, can you take him? I'm going to close my door now. So, the best laid plans. JJ, make sure he doesn't come to my door. Yeah, so he's a bit grizzly because he had a funny night last night. But I got into this business through a friend of mine. That's how we all come in, don't we? Through somebody who connects us, from a friend. So a friend of mine introduced me to have a look at what she was doing, and it sparked my interest, and I got curious. And for me, it was mostly about the incredible products in the beginning. And then I love them so much that I jumped into the business. Was that what you asked? I can't remember the question.
So just a little bit of background about how you got into it. So what we're talking about here, what we affectionately call them juice beans and whole food powders. So just a bit of background about how you got involved in it, because, you're a homeschooling mum, and we know sometimes as homeschooling mothers, we have a lot on our plate, and to take on something like this, what's your background there, and why did you jump into it? Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, true. Like, why take on another project, right, when you're so busy? So I've got 6 kids, maxed out for time and energy with them. And at the time that my friend told me about the juicy beans and the powders, I was really tired, lacking energy. I'm just really struggling and feeling really bad about that, because I did decide to homeschool the kids, but I didn't feel like I was really up to the task. So I found that the first thing that I got was increased energy. And like even today, last night was a rough night again with our kids, but I got up and did yoga with my husband at 6 this morning. And, I'm a bit tired, but it's just different. Before I felt like I was trudging through the day. I couldn't bounce out of bed. I didn't look forward to the days like I do now. So I felt so much better. I felt more healthy, more vibrant. My pain levels decreased and my allergies cleared up. I just had such a remarkable change for me that I started telling all my friends about it. And my friend, the one that introduced me to the product, said, if you join the business, you can do this. And you can even get your products for free if you refer your friends. And I thought, that sounds awesome, because I actually really wanted to get my whole family on it because I felt so good. So my husband takes them, my children, our parents, and I've been able to do that and to help them because of the business. So that was my initial interest, and doing it with with homeschooling, yeah, I'm still figuring that one out. So so I'm not the perfect example of how that works, because for me sometimes it's you know, there's I've got time and everything just seems to be like the stars are aligned on that particular day, and I can do business during the day and the kids go to bed and everyone settles and I've got time at night and everything's fine and I can put in some time. And I've got other days where it's just chaos
Yeah.
and I'm just up with the kids and chasing my tail all through the day. And then the days that maybe I put in, you know, just a few minutes, but I'm learning to accept that I can only do my best. And that's one of the things I do love about the business, is that I'm my own boss. And so for me, my family does come first. And sometimes the business takes a back seat for a few days or for a few weeks or whatever it is, but it's always there, and I can do as little or as much as I can, and it's all good.
Mm. Yeah, it is. We just take moments where we can. You know, one of our leaders talks about balance, schmalance. I don't believe, for me, there's always been balance. Sometimes there's busy days and sometimes there's really chilled out days. So, yeah, we just take what we can, which is awesome. So, what are the top 3 things that someone should know in order to be successful in any home business, to be honest, not just this one, which we call the juicy business, but in a home business, working from home, following their passions? What do you think are the top 3 things that they should know?
So I don't know if there's like a right answer, because I think there might be to this, but for me, I think one of the most important things, this is what I try and tell my team, is that you don't have to be the expert. Well, for our business anyway, I think sometimes we're afraid to take on things like this because as stay-at-home mums who haven't worked for years, or maybe even been at, you know, university for many years, we can tend to feel inadequate and not up to the task and feel like I can't do that because I don't know enough. And we see other people doing it and we figure it's okay for them because they've been trained, they have the expertise. I don't have that, I can't do it. So one of mine would be to know that all you have and all you need is right here inside of you, and you've just got to be the best you that you can be, because people are attracted to you, no matter what it is, what product it is or what business it is that you have. People come to you because there's something about you that they can connect with. So I would say that anyone can do this. You just got to be the best version of you that you can. And that doesn't happen straight away either. That takes time. That can take time and can be a process. So that's number one. I think drive, determination, you've got to want it. So if you're going to be successful at anything, you've really got to want it. It's got to be so powerful so that when you have those days where you're not feeling up to it, or things go wrong, or people say hurtful things, or things don't go so well, that drive and that determination and that hunger is stronger, and it sees you through those times. So you really got to want to do it. If you come in half-hearted and think, oh, I might give it a try, see how I go, and not really commit yourself, then it's probably really not going to work out. And I think that's the same for everything. Yeah. And I guess there's lots of different answers. Third for me would be, okay, and this is what I'm learning, is time management. Got to figure out how. You got to figure out the how. Like if you've got the reason, you've got the why, and you've got the drive, then the how comes next. Yeah. So you've got to figure out how you're going to do the business. So it's great to have ideas and thoughts and all these dreams, but nothing's going to happen unless you figure out how you're going to make it happen. So it would be making a plan. As Henrietta showed me earlier in this business, creating a wheel of time. So for me, because I'm busy with the children throughout the day, I do most of my things at night. You know, and I've got team and friends that do that differently. They do their business during the day. So figuring out the how and time management.
Okay.
My number 3.
Cool. So how long does it take to become proficient at what you're doing, and how much experience does a person need?
Okay. Okay, so I'm not an expert, I'm not proficient, all right? But it's funny actually, because before this, I know when I was waiting for our feed to work, I saw that you're interviewing Kira. And for those of you watching, Kira's just amazing. She's one of the leaders in our business. And I thought, oh no, she's interviewing Kira. What's she doing interviewing me? So I'm not a proficient person. I haven't got there yet. I haven't arrived. But I think the beauty of this business and any business is that we don't want to fall into that sense of, I'm not good enough to help other people. I don't know enough to help other people. And, you know, my husband and I and my family, we feel really good where we're at now because we're on the journey, and the journey is just so exciting. And I think knowing that you're heading in the right direction, that you have your goals, even if you haven't arrived, and maybe you're not proficient. So I can't really answer this question. I don't feel like I'm proficient. Maybe I'm proficient in being in the journey. And it feels really good. And I think if you're doing what you love and you're following your passion, then you know that you're on the right track because it does feel good. Yeah. Is that okay?
That's perfect. You know, I, as you were saying that, I don't think we'll ever be proficient because we're always growing ourselves. So in terms of that, you've been in the business about a year, is that right?
Yeah. I think at the end of this month. Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to compare yourself to where you were a year ago to where you are now, what does that look like? What's happened in the last year for you?
Oh, so much. I've never actually thought of that before, and it's making me emotional because I was just a different person. I was happy. Well, you know how you think you're happy, and then you discover this whole new world of happiness, and there's just more happiness to go around. I was like that. I was definitely happy because I have my beautiful family, my children, and I'm very fulfilled being a stay-at-home mum. But what I really did lack was the energy and the drive, and I didn't have any big dreams. That's the main thing that's changed. I didn't really feel like I could achieve, you know, greatness in any sort of form. I had hopes that maybe I could, but I didn't really believe that I could. So, you know, there's a big difference. And so over this last year, I've learned to have, you know, conversations with people, to learn to really care even, I guess, at a deeper level about people and their needs, because one of the things I do love about this business is very much about service and about, you know, loving the other person, about being able to overcome our own fears because we care more about, you know, helping them. And for me to realizing that we can dream and we can actually make those dreams happen. We can turn them into reality. So before they were just the dreams that I didn't really believe. And I know I used to say to the kids, we can't do that. We can't afford it. Oh yeah, we'll go there one day. It was always one day. And I said that because I didn't really know if it would happen. And so I didn't say those things anymore. Now it's like, how can we make that happen? If one of my kids really wants to buy something and it's really expensive, the old me would have said, we can't afford that. It's way too much. Whereas now I said, what can we do? What can we do to make that happen? So my whole mindset is changing. And I'm developing a stronger belief in me and I guess the attributes that I can bring to my business. I'm learning that it's possible to actually achieve your goals and achieve your dreams, not just dream about them all the time. I'm loving all the personal development. I think that's probably my favorite part. So yeah, and I feel better, like physically. I've got so much more energy, and I am happier. My husband's happier. The whole family.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. That was actually a question I just threw in because I think we forget the growth that happens, you know, and sometimes it's not, the business is there, but the personal growth that happens is just incredible. So you were talking about overcoming, some fears. So what are you have a team. What are some of the common problems that people experience in running their own business from home, or what you're doing? What are some of the common problems that they experience?
The ones I've found seem to be, especially in the beginning, is getting in front of people. So doing one of these, like, you know, getting on a Zoom call and speaking to somebody that maybe you don't know for the first time, getting into one of our team meetings and speaking in front of, you know, maybe a group of 12, 20 people for the first time, posting things on Facebook that you've never posted before and sharing your own story. So even for me, when I shared my own health journey, that was the first time I told people that I even had fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue, or that I was struggling, because I saw that as a weakness. I just didn't tell people. So no one really knew how I felt except for my husband and my kids sometimes. But that was really new and that was really scary. And I noticed that with my team, the first time they tell their own story, their transformation story, it can be really scary for them. The first time they have to answer questions they're not sure about, it can be scary. So I think it's probably all about being comfortable with being able to, you know, be who you are in front of other people. I think that can be challenging, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, so authenticity, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I found. That's what this does. You just you know, you put yourself out there and it just grows you, because there's something that we learn in our team is that comfort zones are where dreams go to die. You know, if you're always constantly in this comfort zone, it's just easy just to do nothing, or just to be apathetic to really chasing your dreams and showing our children that we can too. So let me see. If you could give, now you've shared a few gems here, but if you could give one secret, if you had one secret to give about staying focused on your vision for you and your family, what would it be? Because, you know, it's really easy, and I was one of those. I would start something, then stop and start and stop. Because I realized very early, well, I didn't realize very early, but I realized later on that I didn't have this focused vision. So what's the one secret that you could give about staying focused on this that you could share with us?
Okay, well, for me, it would, well, this is what I do. So before, you know, the business, before I started doing all this, I would have these sort of pain points, you know, where I would see maybe, you know, my eldest, he loves to read and he just really wants this book collection and it's expensive and I can't get it for him. So for me, that was a pain point. And it would be hurtful that I couldn't get it. And I know that he would survive and it's okay. And I tell myself it's all good. You know, many people can't afford lots of things. It's teaching him to be resilient. And, you know, he'll, you know, whatever. We can get it down the track. We'll wait. We'll save up. So I had a lot of pain points around the children, and especially with homeschooling and resources not being able to get them. Or if, you know, my family were having a reunion and we just couldn't make it. We're a big family. It costs a lot to travel. So there were just many times that I had these pain points. Even just when it gets down to the groceries, like I'm the person that goes through the checkout and then has to put things back because, you know, I don't have that much. And so I had lots and lots of pain points, and I just learned to live with them and considered it part of me being, you know, learning to be humble. And now that I'm in this business, I've learned to turn those around to fire me up. So now when I see a pain point, when one of my children, you know, needs, and I'm not talking about just wants that, you know, material things that don't have any sort of consequence. I'm talking about the things that you really, you know, would make a great impact in your life and improve your life. And so for me, being a homeschooling mum, resources are big on my list, and I've got a son that loves to build. He's out there now with a saw that I was able to buy him because of the business. Yeah, he's sawing away. He's opened it up today. So you know, things like that. He's used hammer and nails now for 3 years, and that's fine as well. But I've been longing to buy him his own drill or his own saw or things like that. And so now when I see like the need for my children or my family, I flip it around. And instead of just accepting that, you know what, that's just not going to happen for us, now I use it to fuel me, and it helps my vision. It helps me keep the vision in my head. When I feel like it's a little bit tricky or a little bit rough, I'll pull a picture of my children into my head of something that I really want to invest in for them. And that reminds me of the reasons why I'm doing this business. I might think about, you know, how much I'd love to take them to their island, you know, by blood, and they haven't really been out of Australia and New Zealand. I'd love to take them to Tonga to see their heritage. And so I think having that mental vision board in my head and using those pain points to fuel me, that for me has really helped, as well as having it, you know, up. I'm working on my vision board at the moment. So as well as having it in front of me, my vision board includes photos of my children and what they love to do, because they are those points for me. So I guess, you know, I've always wanted to be a mum. I've always wanted to have children. So that's my greatest love. So I use my greatest love to help push me and to, yeah, I guess to keep the vision alive. I look at my kids every day. I imagine all these amazing things that could help them learn and grow even more. And I just use that. Yeah,
that's so cool. That reminds me of Fraser Brooks. He talks about your why. And your why, you know, if it was an acronym, it stands for what hurts you. So I agree, you know, sometimes it's those pains in our lives that drive us, that really help us to fuel that vision and create something for our children. And it's so cool because we have our children around us all the time. So they're our walking vision boards. It's awesome. Well, Leona, that was all I wanted us to talk about. I'm really grateful to have you on and to share your story. I watch you and I watch your family and I watch you do this business, and just sometimes life gets in the way for all of us that are doing this, and we take some time off, but that vision is so important, the vision that we have to create whatever it is for our family. It could be a bit more freedom. It could be, I know for some of the team, it's creating that personal, that best version of themselves. They're doing it for themselves to be a better version of themselves. So I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for jumping on. And we had a bit of a laugh before because I was trying to do a live and that didn't happen. So everyone's getting the recording, but that's how it goes. And I'm surprised that mine didn't walk behind me, but it's what we do when we run a business from home. Do you have anything you want to say to finish off this interview?
Oh, no. I guess just that anybody can do this business, or I guess anything that you want to do in life, just go for it. I guess don't buy into excuses that you've told yourself for so many years, because at the end of the day, if you go to bed every night wishing for more, then there can be more for you, and it is possible. So yeah,
Awesome.
I think if you go to bed satisfied, then you're on the right track.
Awesome. I'm going to leave it there because those are cool words. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, see ya.